Because if it meant something to you, it means something to us.
Kurt Gowdy, your man Bill Russell is leading both clubs in hits. That's the guy you picked to be the star. Is biorhythms up or what?
Well, no, I tell you, Joe, I talked to the Dodger ball players, and they all told me that Russell is the most underrated player on their team. He already leads the series in hits. He's just driven in a run. He's made good contact the entire series, and I'm sure that he's going to make more.
Kurt Gowdy, who is down right at field level, and that was his pick. Bill Russell will be the star as we look at Munson against Sutton. It is a strike.
You've got to admire a guy like Kurt Gowdy, especially when he picks a shortstop. Good taste, Curtis.
That was an objective view. Munson was called out on strikes his first time up. 1 ball and 1 strike. I tell you, a play like Nettles made to end that inning may be just what a pitcher needs, because Guidry has just been, he's been reeling. He's been, you know, it's one of those feelings of walking in the bedroom with no lights on. He's bumping into everything. 1 ball, 1 strike. Go around. Kibler's going to ask. He gets his strike. 1 ball, 2 strikes.
Sutton's really a study in concentration on the mound. He gets his signal from Yeager, and he gets his location. He'll nod, and then he'll concentrate in on exactly where he wants to throw the ball.
Kibler says strike 3. Munson is out on strikes for the 2nd time. He just can't stop that bat, Tom.
No, he can't. That shoulder is so bad. Tom, your manager, Sparky Anderson, Cincinnati, has been one of the biggest complainers about Don Sutton, and that he doctors the baseball, maybe throws a grease ball, scuffs it up. You're on that bench.
Well, I would say that I've gotten balls on the mound when I pitch against Don Sutton, and there are some scuff marks on them. I think it's very psychological.
The scuff marks?
No, I think a hitter goes to the home plate, and he thinks about those scuff marks as opposed to what somebody is throwing to him, as that's Jackson grounding out to Davy Lopes, starts thinking about those scuff marks on the ball instead of what the pitcher's really doing.
Do you see the scuff marks, though?
Not when you're throwing it. When I pick the ball up on the mound, I can. Yeah, but what difference does it make? It's like Gaylord Perry supposedly throwing the spitball.
Oh, no, he throws a spitball. I did a show on that. He was a Vaseline ball. And I know where he gets it. He gets it in the tongue of the shoe. He gets it where he roll up the pants. He gets behind. He loads it up, that I'll tell you. But the Sutton scuff up the ball.
It's all psychological.
Oh, these pitchers.
Listen, Doug Harvey didn't think it was psychological because he threw Sutton out of a ball game.
2 to 1 is the score. These pitchers stick together, Tony. Piniella, what a cut he had.
Some of you might not have seen the first 2 ball games of the World Series, and that number 19 is the number of the late Jim Gilliam. And the Dodgers, as you know, have dedicated the World Series to Junior.
Full file, Dick Hauser, who will be a college coach next year at Florida State. Harry Walker's leaving the Cardinals. He's going to go coach college baseball. Your friend Bobby Richardson was coaching, Tony.
At South Carolina for a while, then he ran for politics.
Danny Litweiler, Bud Matheny. A lot of former major leaguers now coaching in the college ranks, and you have to benefit from that. 2-strike pitch. Off the handle.
You'll see Sutton pitch right-handed hitters inside more than you will left-handers, obviously because of the ballpark. It's 430 in left center field, 417 in dead center, and that's Death Valley for a lot of right-handed hitters, has been for many, many years.
Inside. 1 ball, 2 strikes, 2 outs, nobody on. Yankees 2, Dodgers 1. We're in the bottom of the 3rd. Dodgers won the first 2 games. First one 11-5, the second one 4-3. There's a base hit. Piniella.
the stadium. Beautiful shot. Our handheld camera from high atop behind home plate. You can see the facade at the top of your screen, one of the things left from the original stadium.
Graig Nettles. That's it. Button your shirt. Look nice. Mother will be proud of you. National television, he gets a bad tailor. He's ready. Nettles, base hit his first time up, scored a run. Good pitch by Sutton. One strike, 2 outs. They're playing behind Piniella at first. Quick throw. Close. Yeager thought he had him. He loves to throw. There's Garvey waiting for it, and here's the tag. Just did get in. A good call by Marty Springstead. That's an ad-lib play.
Boy, he was leaning too. I don't think he was stealing, but Sutton caught him almost going the wrong way. That's something you can see the first base coach, Michaels. He can't help you.
There he goes. Here's the throw. Save. Piniella, who is not a base-stealing threat. In fact, he only stole 3 bases in 4 attempts. He makes it.
Well, Sutton may have taken him for granted after he threw over and almost got him. Who takes off, and you can see the play. He must have had a good jump, because you don't do that off Yeager.
Tony, I think that's exactly what happened. I think Don Sutton on the mound figured there's no way that Piniella would be running. If you're going to run on Yeager, you're running against probably the best arm in baseball to throw into second base. And we must not have looked at it.
And with Nettles hitting, Tom, Nettles hitting, you got that hole with first and second, so he took for granted, and that hurts you. Right field. Right center, actually. North, way over there, just waits for it. That ends the inning. Nettles flies to Billy North. That ends the inning. Yankees do not score, so at the end of 3 complete innings, it is a 2-1 ball game. Yankees out in front. It'll be Steve Garvey, Ron Say, Dusty Baker. And we'll be right back after these messages.
You're watching The Diamond Collection on Classic Sports Network.
Here comes the pitch.
Take me out to the ball game.
Okay.
Take me out with the crowd. Buy me some peanuts and some Cracker Jacks. I don't care if I never get back. Let me root for the home team. If they don't win, it's a shame. For it's 1, 2, 3 strikes you out at the old ball game. What a game.
Okay, you've seen them, and maybe you've even considered buying one. Well, if you broke a little sweat over the thought of losing your pocketbook over your waistline, here's something you'll definitely want to consider. At less than half the price of the leading competitor, the Ab Ultimizer is a sleek and stylish toning machine. The best value for anyone wanting firm, tight, rock-hard abs. Unlike regular sit-ups, the Ab Ultimizer offers much-needed support for head and neck while targeting upper, middle, and lower abdominals, so you'll firm and flatten your stomach in weeks, not months. We guarantee it.
I was unable to do sit-ups because of a neck injury. I tried all sorts of expensive equipment in rehab, but nothing compares to the Ab Ultimizer. In just a few weeks, I was amazed at the results.
I've tried everything. Diet, pills, nothing seemed to work. That's why I'm so grateful for the Ab Ultimizer. It gave me the figure I've always wanted.
The Ab Ultimizer has extra thick padding for your arms and neck. And it's made of quality 1-inch steel to outlast these other popular ab machines. We could spend at least 30 minutes telling you all about the benefits of the Ab Ultimizer. Instead, we'll get right to the point. And because we're saving on advertising, we're able to offer you a rock-bottom price on the rock-hard abs you've always wanted. Why spend $100 or even $89 when you can order the Ab Ultimizer for only 2 easy payments of $19.95? The Ab Ultimizer comes with a lifetime warranty. Plus, if you order now, you'll also receive our Ab Ultimizer workout video, a $19.95 value free with your order. Use the Ab Ultimizer 5 minutes a day for just 10 days. If you haven't lost 2.5 inches and significantly flattened your stomach, return it for a no-questions-asked refund.
The Ab Ultimizer makes a great gift. To order, have your credit card ready and call 1-800-344-4888 or send $39.90 plus $12.95 shipping and handling to Ab Ultimizer, P.O. Box 910, Department 44, Gardnerville, Nevada. Don't wait. Supplies are limited. Call 1-800-344-4888.
He was a man on a mission. One voice crying to be heard.
You cannot be serious!
Classic Sports presents Athlete of the Week, John McEnroe. Watch the '84 U.S. Open, Sunday at 7, only on Classic Sports.
We continue now with the 1978 World Series between the New York Yankees and the Los Angeles Dodgers from 1978. This is Game 3 with the Dodgers up 2-0. And in the top of the 4th inning, Ron Guidry, who had that fabulous 25-3 regular season, walked Ron Say, but had no trouble getting out of the inning and holding on to his slim 2-1 lead. He capped the inning by striking out Lee Lacy for his second strikeout of the game. New York then couldn't extend its lead in the bottom of the 4th. Chris Chambliss led off the inning with a single, but Don Sutton shut the door on the Yankees for the rest of the inning, and he retired the next 3 batters in the order. We now pick up the game, and in the top of the 5th, with New York still clinging to a 2-1 lead, remember, the Yankees are desperate because the Dodgers lead this best of 7, 2-0.
Tom, I was talking about pitchers and managing. I was trying to lead into it because not many pitchers have managed and not many in the World Series. Have you ever thought about managing?
Well, it's a possibility, Joe. Maybe 5 years down the road when I finish playing, I don't know what I'm going to do, but it's a thought.
All right, Billy North, Steve Yeager, Dave Lopes. North after the first base pitch pulls it foul. You got a good pitcher's game going once again, as we did in Game 2 when Hooten and Hunter tied up. Yankees lead 2-1. Dodgers with just 2 base hits. 1 ball, 1 strike. The man who has those 2 hits, Kurt Gowdy's man, Bill Russell. Guidry has struck out 2 so far. He has walked 4, very high for him. But Guidry got it on the first time. So North is out, 1 down. He jammed him with a fastball, and Billy couldn't get far enough down the third base line to surprise Graig Nettles.
One of my theories, Tony, of a guy that throws hard and has real good stuff, those are the tough guys to bunt off of. That's why I wasn't crazy about Garvey's attempted bunt or that attempted bunt. If a guy's got real good stuff and the ball is moving a lot, then it's real tough to control the ball if you're trying to bunt the ball down a certain baseline. Bunting is an art in baseball that not many people do very well. And it's more difficult to bunt a ball that's moving or darting or sailing than it is a straight fastball.
The pitch you want is the off-speed pitch. Curveball, changeup. Yeager goes 1 ball, 1 strike to Guidry. Don't know if the Dodgers had this in their scouting report, but Ron Guidry might just be the best fielding pitcher in baseball. Jimmy Palmer's won the Gold Gloves a few times, but Guidry, I think, moves around a little bit more.
When I was here watching the Kansas City Yankee playoff games, I was talking to Art Fowler about his pitching staff, and he says this kid Guidry might be the fastest player in baseball. He's the best athlete off a mound he's ever seen, and he says for a young kid, a young player, he has more determination than any other pitcher he has ever seen. There's the pitching coach, Art Fowler. He had nothing but absolute praise for this young boy. He's not affected by all his success either.
3-1 to Yeager, fouled off, 3-2. That was an interesting last line on Art Fowler. He pitched in professional baseball at the age of 48. Of course, you all remember White Wilhelm. 3 balls, 2 strikes, 1 out. Steve Yeager. He grounded out in the 3rd off Guidry. Fouled off on a play again. Guidry seems to be getting a little more rhythm, getting into a little bit more of a groove. Two to 1. The Yankees lead over the Dodgers. We're in the 5th. Looks like he might have gone with a slider.
We're back to the slider there, Tony. He certainly did.
But he walks the 5th Dodger. Yeager's on. It'll bring up Dave Lopes.
Do you think maybe Munson is trying to find him and in that particular spot, use the slider to build up his confidence?
Well, I don't think that Yeager, even on the first 3-2 pitch, he fouled off it. I don't think he got the bat to the ball out in front of the plate into a good hitting zone. Munson could still be searching.
The pitcher can shake that catcher off at all times. Is that the way it's with you? I know it.
The pitcher is the last one to touch the baseball. I learned this about 12 years ago.
That's right. We can only suggest, and you guys got the ball.
Catcher says, don't hang it on me. You got the ball.
Right.
You're the last one to touch it. You take the responsibility. If you don't like what I'm putting down here, shake me off. If I think you're wrong, I'll come out and we'll talk about it.
1-0 pitch to Lopes. Outside goes 2-0. Yeager at first, 1 out. 5th base on ball in this ball game. That's the high as we look at Yeager being held by Chambliss. The high for Guidry this year. Early in May, in 6 1/3 innings, he didn't finish that game against Texas. Guidry walked 5. Pulled deep, but it's going to hook foul. So Lopes jumps on the 2-0 pitch. Now 2-1. Davies fly to center field. He lined hard to Nettles at third base. Two and one. Drilled hard, base hit in the hole by Lopes, so the Dodgers have 2 men on base. 1 out. It'll bring up Russell, who's 2 for 2. A pitch up in the strike zone, a little high. Guidry still does not have that fastball. He's thrown a couple of good pitches hard tonight. The one to Lacey we can recall, a couple of others. But he's not the Guidry we've seen most of this season. And he's had, what, 5 days rest? This is the 5th day he's pitching on?
He's pitching on the 6th day, right. This is 5 days rest that he had. He certainly is not pitching the way that I saw him when he pitched last against Kansas City. His fastball was inconsistent, and that pitch was up in the strike zone. Was not moving.
With 1 out, the infield fly is called. So Russell's automatically out. So Russell, 2 for 3 in the ball game.
But it's the good pitcher who can pitch and stay close when he doesn't have that good stuff. It's a cakewalk when you got that good fastball, and that's what Guidry has really shown here. He doesn't have his good stuff, but he's still hanging tough, doing what he has to stay close.
Doing what he has to. He's given up only 3 hits and 1 run. That's the difference between pitching. There's 2 words here, pitching and throwing. And that's one of the great arts of it, is being able to pitch.
Smith drills it. Not square by Nettles to knock it down, but it gets away. Nettles saves 1 run, maybe a double in the corner by just knocking the ball down. The ball took a wicked hop the last hop, and somehow Nettles got his glove on it to save a possible double. He has done something.
Looked like a slider down and in that Reggie Smith really turned on. And Graig Nettles is, in the last 2 games, the last game in Los Angeles, the game here has put on some show defensively.
Now the crowd with the bases loaded, 2 outs, and the danger spins in all of baseball. Garvey up. He popped it up, but will it stay in play? Chambliss to the seats. He can't reach it. The Dodgers have the bases loaded with 2 outs off Ron Guidry.
You know, Tony, one of the mistakes I think the Dodgers did last year, 1977, when they came into this ballpark for the World Series, those right-handed hitters tried to pull the ball too much. The only right-hand hitter that was going to right field was Steve Garvey.
1 strike pitch to Garvey. Hit hard once again. Nettles will go to second. He jumps. The rush. Riding runner will retire the side. Graig Nettles with quite a defensive display that inning once again. Sure, we'll go to the last of the 5th. The Yankees, as Nettles saves a run, they lead over the Dodgers 2-1.
Bird, Magic, 2 of the greatest, together in the finals for the first time.
And things have really heated up here at the Forum.
One of the greatest games in all of NBA history. Watch the Celtics and the Lakers Thursday night at 8:30 only on Classic Sports Network.
Come here.
No.
I'm Millie Fountain, and I have 2 kids, and I drive a Saturn. I decided to buy the car because it looked very sporty, and it was very inexpensive. I found that Saturn gave me the most for my money. Uh-oh, we dropped one. It's my first major purchase that I've ever purchased by myself. I didn't feel as though they were taking advantage of me at all. You can just drive and you can relax.
Hi, Bob Vila here to show you a unique new Craftsman tool no home should be without. Craftsman Handy Cut Utility Cutters. The one tool you can count on for all kinds of tough cutting jobs. Craftsman Handy Cut does the job of utility knives, carpet knives, shears, shop cutters, and more. Look how tough it is to make a good cut through this damaged garden hose with a utility knife. Craftsman Handy Cut gets it done in one clean cut. It's a terrific small branch and shrub pruner. Shears or shop cutters can't trim vinyl flooring as easily as the Craftsman Handy Cut. Use the Craftsman Handy Cut to cut nearly any common household material, including rope, plastic, leather, vinyl, and rubber. Call now, and you can order your Craftsman Handy Cut for only $19.99. And remember, when you buy from Sears, your satisfaction is guaranteed or your money back.
To order your Craftsman Handy Cut, get your Sears card or the credit card ready and call 1-800-203-9944. That's 1-800-203-9944. Call right now.
Suddenly, it was a new beginning, and a man named Ricky had created it.
I heard some whispering going on and had a petition up. Robinson was coming on the club, but they were not going to play with Robinson.
Jackie Robinson can be best characterized reflectively in one word: unconquerable. Everything about Jackie Roosevelt Robinson was right. And when people ask me, who is the greatest all-around athlete this nation has yet produced, I say Jackie Roosevelt Robinson. Also, the greatest all-around man.
We now return to the Diamond Collection on Classic Sports Network.
If you ask New York sports fans who's the best third baseman that ever played in that town, many of them would say Graig Nettles, and many of them would say that because of his heroics in the 1978 World Series. He single-handedly secured the Yankees' lead with his glove in the top of the 5th inning in this Game 3 from 1978. New York couldn't extend their lead in the 5th. Then Don Sutton gave up a lead walk to Roy White, who of course homered off him in the 1st inning, but the Yankees couldn't make Sutton pay for his error. Now we take you to the top of the 6th inning, with the Yankees still holding on to that 2-1 lead.
The World Series every year picks its most valuable player in the Fall Classic, and we had a chance to talk to one of them before, Mickey Lolich, left-hander.
It was a series that I was very fortunate at. Roger Maris, who was with the 68 Cardinals, said that the one pitcher the Cardinals had to worry about in that particular series was Lolich, and lo and behold, he was right, because I did have a good series.
Mickey Lolich, he's the man, if you saw the World Series that year, hit a home run. It surprised him so. He kept running over first base, took a right turn instead of left, almost ran back to his own dugout. Joe?
We're looking at Mrs. Tom Bradley in the light coat, the mayor's wife of Los Angeles. And the lady who's kind of peeking without the hat on there, I don't know what they're looking at, is Rachel Robinson, widow of the late and great Jackie Robinson. That's Peter O'Malley, the club president. Mrs. O'Malley, his wife, and then Rachel Robinson behind.
Ron Guidry to Ron Say. Way outside and high, ball 1. The Yankees lead 2-1 over the Dodgers. We're in the top of the 6th. Yankees with 6 base hits, the Dodgers 4. Dodgers might have had more except for Graig Nettles. He has robbed at least 2 Dodgers of hits. Hit hard to left center field. And high, Rivers is over. There have been a lot of right-handed hitters who have kicked water coolers in this ballpark.
Well, that's what I was talking about the Dodgers last year, turning on that ball and trying to hit the ball out to left field, Tony. I talked to Ronnie Say yesterday. The Dodgers were here for a workout yesterday evening, and he said he was not going to try and change his style. He felt that if he could pull the ball down at that 387-foot line in left field over to the foul pole, he's going to try and do that, hit the ball out that way. He didn't feel he was an advantage taking the ball to right field.
Dusty Baker. Slider inside, 1 ball. Well, the age-old controversy. Kurt Gowdy interviewed Joe DiMaggio out by the monuments in left field. 1-0 pitch. Hit hard up the alley, left center field. Rivers is going to try and chase it down. Is Baker going to challenge the arm? No. Rivers gets it in very quickly. Rivers ran pretty well. He may have saved a double, possible triple, and he got the ball back in a hurry. Good play by Mickey. Started to say the age-old controversy. What would Ted Williams have done in this park with a short porch? In right field, the other hand, DiMaggio up in Boston, but DiMaggio must have had an awful lot of home runs taken away in this ballpark.
What would Willie Mays have hit in Brooklyn? Musial in Brooklyn.
You can go on and on, can't
brother.
you? Lee Lacy. Lacey hit into a double play in the second inning. Called out on strikes in the fourth. Nice block by Thurman. 1 ball. We're here in Yankee Stadium, down in the field with a different perspective. The crusty veteran, as you called him today, Tom Seaver. Kurt Gowdy up here in the booth. Joe Garagiola, Tom Seaver, and Tony Kubek. Score is 2-1. The Yankees lead over the Dodgers. 1 out, 1 ball, no strikes, and Lacey. Baker's at first. Hit hard, base hit up the middle. So the Dodgers have 2 men on, as Baker will stop at second base, and it'll bring up Billy North. The hard swingers, because Guidry, when he has his good fastball and slider, he doesn't have a whole lot of trouble with it. It's the pesky guys who cut down their swing like Billy North and just peck away at the ball. His ball usually has such good movement in the strike zone.
Now, he's definitely not throwing very well, Tony, that's for sure. He's still only given up 1 run, but Graig Nettles has caught 1 line drive and saved 2 other sure base hits at third base.
Baker's at second, Lacey's at first. Billy North, who's walked, stolen a base. There's Baker down at second. Lacey at first, who just singled. We're in the top of the 6th. One and one to North. Ron Guidry was challenging a record when he was in the midst of that 13-game win streak. 2 balls and 1 strike on North.
He got behind Baker, 1 ball, no strike. There was a single, 1 ball, no strike to Lacey, another single up the middle. Not the Ron Guidry that the Yankee fans have seen here, nor is it the Ron Guidry that Bob Lemon is used to either. He's got 2 guys getting loose in the bullpen.
Fouled off, out of play. The count will go 2-2.
Looks like Tidrow and somebody I can't tell from this far away.
The Goose Gossage, he's number 54. Dick Tidrow, and the man that just walked out of your picture, Ellie Howard. 2 balls, 2 strikes. The chant goes up for Guidry to get the strikeout. Fouled off. Ellie Howard used to warm Ron Guidry up before a ball game out in the bullpen, but he quit. He couldn't handle the fastball. In fact, Sundberg in the All-Star game when Guidry came in, there's Ellie, an MVP in the American League for the Yankees. Sundberg had a fastball thrown to him from Guidry in the All-Star game, and the ball rattled around his shin guards off his chest. 2-2. Make that 3-2 with 2 men on.
Fran Healy, when he was on the roster, warmed him up with a mask on. You usually do that to a knuckleball pitcher, but with Guidry, he did it with him.
With 1 out and a 3-2 count, it will be interesting to see if Tom Lasorda starts the base runners. Baker at second and Lacey at first. Nettles is looking down there. They're going. Hit high to left field. Roy White drifting back. He's got it for out number 2 as the runners return. Here he comes. He threw to the wrong base. Baker decoyed Roy White. Roy White thought the runners had held. He threw to second to Brian Doyle, and Baker took off. Very alert base running by Dusty Baker.
He erased his own mistake, though, Tony, because it was so deep. He was running on the pitch, and then he tried to go back. And then when he saw the throw go behind him, he just took off. Why Roy White threw to second base? Only thing I can think of, he just anticipated that Baker was going to tag up and go to third.
There he comes again. With 2 outs, he, of course, cannot score on the sacrifice fly, but now Munson's got to watch for the wild pitch, the pass ball. There's a possibility of a ball. Infield hit will score that run, so there's a little more pressure.
Double steal is what they're talking about now.
There's an awful lot more pressure, Tom, on the infield defensively. They've got to field the ball pretty cleanly. Yeah, Tom?
They can't knock the ball down. That's exactly right. But I think what we're seeing here is the philosophy that the Dodgers are establishing in their clubhouse. Many clubs will get together, they'll have their meetings, they'll go over what they're going to do, how they're going to play the game, what they're going to try and do. I think they've obviously established that they're going to run on the outfield. They're going to run on Thurman. Now, Roy White is the weakest throwing of the Yankee outfield. There was no question that he was going to go back to second. Dusty Baker hustled back. Roy White does not have the good arm, and a pretty deep shot to left field. Dusty Baker just took off to third, made it easily. Maybe Roy White knew he couldn't get him at third, threw to second base so Lee Lacy would not get to second base in scoring position.
I think Baker just decoyed him myself. I think he kind of just lulled. You don't think so, Joe?
No, I don't. I'll tell you why. Because he started for third, and then he headed back to second, as much as saying, I should have tagged up because he didn't have a good arm. And then Roy White threw that big balloon ball into second base, and he said, well, if he's going to give it to me, I'll take it.
All right, Manny Mota's going to pinch hit for Steve Yeager with runners on first and third and 2 out. 1 ball. Mota, as I recall, Tom, is a pretty good breaking ball hitter.
Does not have the bat speed that I guess he once had, Tony, and is a good breaking ball hitter now.
Guidry goes 2 balls, no strikes on Mota.
The thing about Guidry is that his slider, when he's throwing well, is almost as hard as his fastball.
Yankees lead 2-1 in the 6th, but the Dodgers are threatening with 2 outs. 3-0 on Mota. There's the runner, Baker at third, Lacy at first. Mota, one of the premier pinch hitters in baseball. Guidry walks the bases full. Tom Lasorda. And it'll bring up Davy Lopes. There's Lemon. Emotionless outside anyway, but inside he's churning. Six walks given up in 6 innings by Ron Guidry.
They still haven't been able to crack him, Tony. Not throwing well. He's gotten the 3 great plays down at third from Graig Nettles. Still only 1 run on the board for the Dodgers.
There's the slider. 1 strike. Now he's going to get some fan support. The bases are full. Graig Nettles with a great play. The dial to get the runner to save 2 runs. What a display by Graig Nettles, the Yankees third baseman, who's making a believer of even Tom Seaver. He is absolutely fabulous.
I don't believe it. What he has done in the last 2 days, it's unbelievable. Watch him go to his right again. Another shot down the line. It's unbelievable what he's done, the plays he's made behind the pitchers on the Yankee pitching staff.
The ball is crushed. He got an in-between hop. He gets the force out at second base to save 2 runs. So the Yankees retain the lead. As we go to the last of the 6th here at Yankee Stadium, it's the Yankees 2, the Dodgers 1. Wow.
We'll return in a moment to the Diamond Collection on Classic Sports Network.
What lower round draft pick just might stun the NBA by becoming his team's leading rebounder this year? The Sporting News knows. Do you? What hot goalie will dominate NHL offenses to power his team to a great season? The Sporting News knows. Do you? What surprising rookie sensation could send his team soaring into the Super Bowl? The Sporting News knows, and you can too when you call now to claim your no-cost 4-issue Sporting News mini subscription. Plus, reserve these great sports binoculars free. When it comes to the NFL, NBA, Major League Baseball, and the NHL, nobody keeps you in the know quite like the Sporting News. What GM's blockbuster trades will turn his pretenders into pennant contenders next season? The Sporting News knows, and now you will too. Call now for your no-cost 4-issue Sporting News mini subscription. If you like it, get 24 more issues, 28 in all, for 4 easy payments of just $4.99. Plus, get these great binoculars free with your paid subscription. Call now.
It's all-out war when we step on the field playing those teams. Especially the guys in the NFC East.
Get personal this week with Tony Dorsett on Distant Replay, Thursday at 7:30, only on Classic Sports Network.
We're back on Classic Sports with more of Game 3 from the '78 World Series, Yankees and Dodgers. Now, we have no explanation for this, but it happens all the time in baseball. Graig Nettles saves at least 2 runs with his incredible play at third, robbing Davy Lopes to end the top of the 6th inning. and then he leads off the next inning. It happens all the time. Well, he almost thrilled the home crowd with his bat as much as he had with his glove, but he just got under the ball a bit too much and flew out to the warning track. Don Sutton of the Dodgers then retired Chris Chambliss and Brian Doyle, respectively. Now to the top of the 7th, where the Dodgers will try to finally erase the Yankees' 2-1 lead.
I'm over here at the side, and I've been watching Guidry. His velocity usually averages 90 miles an hour in a game. I don't believe it's quite that tonight. And, of course, he hugged Graig Nettles in the dugout. Nettles is putting on the most sensational third base play since Brooks Robinson. Remember that, Tony and Joe, in 1970. The only difference between the two players at third base in that series of 70, Robinson hit .429. Nettles hasn't been hitting. But Guidry would be out of this ball game right now if it were not for Nettles. We'll watch the velocity of Guidry. He may pick it up, and if he starts getting up higher and higher, that means that he's losing it, and we're going to watch him over here.
Okay, Kurt, right next to the dugout. That's interesting. Guidry hugged Nettles, and I guess so. He saved him about 4 or 5 runs. Here we go, Bill Russell. This is Bucky Dent's ball. 1 out. Easy out. Bucky Dent gets Russell. It brings up Smith, Reggie Smith. He smashed one at Nettles. I tell you, Guidry out there with 2 runs, 6 hits, no errors. Dodgers 1 run, 6 hits, and no errors. High ball 1. He has not had his good stuff, true, but he has had a lot of Valentine, a lot of heart going for him. Popped up. It's in the stands, but Nettles is over there. We better wait till it lands. You go in there and get it.
You know, another thing that's going on here, Joe, is Guidry is pitching without the sweatshirt. He's got his Yankee shirt on, but then he's got no sweatshirt, wool or cotton sweatshirt underneath that covering his arms. And it must be down in the 60s here tonight in New York City. About 70 degrees at game time.
Should be an easy out for Roy White. You think he should have something covering his arm?
But he's got nothing covering his arm. A lot of pitchers don't like it. A lot of pitchers think it's uncomfortable having it on there. But I'm a believer that you've got to have a shirt. Unless it's stifling hot, they will go down and cover at least your elbow.
Mike Marshall, in fact, with the Minnesota Twins, had that theory of not wearing a sweatshirt. Something to do with perspiring. I know Jimmy Cott doesn't wear one anymore in almost the coldest of weather. And Steve Carlton has gone to that, hasn't he?
I really don't know if he has or not, Tony. I know that if I don't wear one, things start to hurt once in a while.
Garvey is the batter. Takes the first pitch. 2 outs. 2-1. Yankees lead the Dodgers. There's a strike. 1 ball, 1 strike. See Kibler pointing 1 ball, 1 strike. Scoreboard a bit late. Tap foul. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Now these fans, they'll start to hoop it up again. Foul back. Garvey, a very disciplined hitter. Determined. Straightaway center field. Mickey Rivers going back. Got a back jump on it. It is over his head. Garvey digging hard. He will stop at second base. No, now a bad relay. He'll head for third.
Whoa, nobody backing up third.
Safe. Guidry didn't know what to do. He was standing on the mound. He should have been behind third, but it looked like the throw was going into second.
Rivers did not get the good jump, as you said, and he plays a very shallow center field, and this is not the time to play shallow. With 2 outs, you're in the last part of the ball game. You want to give him that little looper. Here comes the late throw as Garvey really hustles. You want to give him the looper and cut the extra base hits down.
You know who almost made another great play on this? Watch Nettles.
I know it.
Gets off balance in the air, and he's turning. He lost the ball, but he turned while he was in the air, almost made a tag on.
There it is again.
Garvey going into third. Rivers really got rid of the ball well in the outfield, and why they let the ball go through, I don't know.
This is an amazing scoring decision. They give the error to the shortstop. Bucky never handled the ball.
He jumped out of the way.
He jumped out of the way. Mickey Rivers threw the ball, and Bucky Dent jumped out of the way, but the scoreboard says the shortstop's got the air. I'm sure that'll change, but it's a base hit and an error at any rate.
That's one thing the third base coach, Preston Gomez of the Dodgers, said he wanted to know more than anything. Not just the outfield throwing arms, but the relay men's throwing arm. The scouting report was, to him anyway, that Dent has a good, strong, accurate throwing arm. But he didn't get it.
High. Ron Say. Say struck out, walked, and flied to center field. 2-1. Yankees lead. Dodgers have the tying run on at third. He took something off the curveball. He was behind the hitter, and he threw something besides the fastball. Ron Guidry battling all the way. These Dodgers have hit the ball hard. Graig Nettles has put on some kind of a fielding clinic at third base.
Unofficially, I have they have left 10 men on base.
Strike. Two balls, two strikes, 2 outs. 2-1. Yankees lead. 7th. Garvey at third. All 3. He has walked 6. He has struck out 2. Unusual. That's the highest he's ever, as far as walks in his major league career. Pops him up. Here comes Nettles. Inning is over. Save. Fouls to Nettles. We go into the bottom half of the 7th inning. It's the Yankees 2, the Dodgers 1.
Johnson swings, deep drive, left center field. Cleon Jones, base back. He has the room. Warning track, he's got it. The Mets have done it. The amazing Mets win the series 4-1. Shea Stadium celebrates.
You're watching Classic Sports Network. Once-in-a-lifetime moments, 24 hours a day.
Tim Conway's back, and he's hauling in a whopper. It's Dorf Goes Fishing, this year's funniest comedy home video. Let Tim Conway, as that master sportsman Dorf, show you everything you've always wanted to know about fishing. Go back in time to man's first fishing method. Let Dorf show you what to wear, how to clean your day's catch, how to get in shape, the joys of fishing with your spouse, plus important boating and safety tips. Dorf Goes Fishing is guaranteed to be the funniest fishing video you've ever seen, and it's not available in stores. So what are you waiting for? Call and order Dorf Goes Fishing today. Call now and you'll get Dorf Goes Fishing plus this official Dorf floating keychain absolutely free.
For rush delivery, have your credit card ready and call 1-800-848-1000. The funniest, the most outrageous Tim Conway at his very best to Dorf Goes Fishing. That's 1-800-848-1000 or send $19.95 plus $4 to the address on your screen. Order now.
We were more or less more interested, I believe, the players on our club in keeping the streak alive than Lou was.
And I might have been given a bad break, but I've got an awful lot to live for.
I saw that day, if you talk about sadness in any game, that's the day I saw photographers cry.
We're all out there on the field, and the fans, an ovation like I've never heard in my life before or since. It's the greatest thing I've ever seen in my life, believe me.
Today, I consider myself the luckiest man on the face of the earth.
You're watching The Diamond Collection on Classic Sports Network.
Bucky Dent will lead it off against Don Sutton, who has done quite a job for these Dodgers. It's been a frustrating night for him. Looked like he would have the lead, but Nettles has deprived him of it, and he keeps coming at you, Sutton does. There's a base hit, left field. Bucky Dent singles to left.
Second ball, got it up.
Two runs, 7 hits, and 1 error for the Yankees. 1-7-0 for the Dodgers. A capacity crowd here at Yankee Stadium. Mickey Rivers, who singled his first time up, singled his second time up, and flied to left. Sutton, the all-time Dodger leader in wins, 205, most starts, strikeouts, innings, shutouts. Very high on the all-time list in a number of categories. He's battling here, trailing by a run. Ron Say moves in close at third. Very close at third. Bunted beautifully. Brody will have to make the play. 2-8.
Rivers runs very well, but when Brody took that one little look to second base, it was 2-8. Boy, did Brody get out to that. He was almost out to the pitcher's mound.
He can get out there like a big cat, Tony, but he hesitated a little bit. You can watch him come out now. It's a good bump by Rivers. Brody gets out as well as anybody in the league, but he picks up the ball.
Right there, right there.
And that cost him the out at first base.
Give you an idea of one of the fastest men in baseball, even with that pull leg muscle and bad hip. He bunched the ball, and Jerry Grody coming right at you. Takes the little look. He could not get the lead runner, and when he hesitated, it was all over.
There you see Lasorda. We're going to have a pinch runner for Mickey Rivers at first base. Paul Blair's going in to run. First and second, nobody out. There you see Blair. A base hit for Mickey Rivers. Roy White, who can handle a bat. Here they come. Bunted. Brody will have foul ball. Foul ball.
He is hot, too. There's Bob Lemon. Jerry Grody is really hot. He gets mad at himself for making mistakes. He knows he made a mistake on that Mickey Rivers bunt. And he can really get mad.
Rolled it out down the third baseline from home plate. He really had the lead runner. Joe Yogi did that so well.
Yeah, Yogi can get out there in a hurry. One strike pitch to Roy White. High. Were there times, Tom, as a battery mate that you'd have to go down and settle Grody down?
Jerry and I always worked together pretty well. So no, we didn't have too much problem.
He's a real competitor. Sutton, another real competitor, in trouble. 1 ball, 1 strike, nobody out. 2-1. Yankees lead. We're in the bottom of the 7th. Foul ball.
Watch him again if they try to bunt. Jerry Grody almost like duck walks out from behind home plate. Stays down so the umpire continues to have a good view at the pitch. Whether they'll bunt with 2 strikes or not, I don't know.
Rivers' injury had to be in his mind. Balloon is out in right field because Jerry, you don't get any help from anybody. You're going to play like that. The play's in front of you as a catcher, so you've made up your mind what you're going to do. You're going to give it a quick look, and he just assumed that with the bad leg, Rivers wouldn't be going. But Mickey, he saw that base hit inside, so it was like a quick trip to Lourdes. It was a miracle his leg healed. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Don Sutton. Look at that concentration. Outside, 2 balls and 2 strikes. Time is being called now. Garvey motion to something in front of the mound. A little rubber ball. Piece of a rubber ball. Boy, you talk about the concentration. Time is called again. Groundskeeper retrieves it. Now we're set. Bouncing ball of Russell. Could be 2. There's 1. Over to first. Low throw. And what a takeout. Debbie Lopes really got dumped at second by Blair. He's still seated down there at second base. Just now getting up.
Boy, this is the one that kills you if you're second baseman especially. The man is coming up in behind you. You never see him. You never know how close. Russell gives the toss, but watch this. Paul Blair forced the bad throw, the low throw. We'll show you another angle. Davy Lopes never knows what hits him. Doesn't get a chance to open up, get much on the ball, and Blair just tears him up.
Davy really got unloaded on. Brody having a little meeting out there with Sutton. There's one man out. You've got pretty good speed on the bases.
This is one that an infielder keeps in the back of his mind. Davy Lopes will make a little check mark that someday, somehow, he's going to get Paul Blair back if he ever has the chance.
It's going to be hard to get him in center field and on that bench, and that's what those guys do.
He might be coming in again the second.
Yeah, he'll remember that, that's for sure. Here is Munson. One man out. Base runners at first and third. Munson has been out on strikes twice and flied to right. Strike one.
Munson isn't even holding. There's Den at third, and White at first. Munson isn't even holding onto the bat with his right hand. That right shoulder, we told you earlier in the series, but in case you missed it, he had a slight shoulder separation. Got it when he was taken out in the outfield throwing, and then he bumped the wall. He's hurt.
You know, it looks like he commits himself, Tony, and then Sutton's got that real good curveball we talked about, and he just can't adjust to it. He's hurting so much that he's got to commit himself early, and then the ball breaks, and there's just no way. Now, he's thrown, he knows, a hitter in this situation, if you've got a hitter who looks bad on a lot of pitches, just keep going right after him. That's what you should do.
Two-strike pitch. Bouncing ball, save. Knocks it down, everybody's safe. Run scored.
Munson chopped and he made contact with two strikes. Say retreated, let the ball play him a little bit, couldn't get the handle. And he gets no one. There's Tommy Lasorda.
Just like we established in the first game, Tony, the one downfall the Dodgers might have, and you said it tonight, the defense on the infield might be their weakest spot.
Well, Tom Lasorda has told everyone in the world that he'll always be a Dodger. He's been in the organization 28 years. We found out something new about Tommy.
The whole world knows how much I love the Dodgers. I've been with them for 29 years, the greatest organization in baseball. But what a lot of people don't know is that when I was growing up and living in Norristown, Pennsylvania, I loved the Yankees. I used to think the Yankees were the greatest team in the world, and I knew their middle names: Joseph Paul DiMaggio, Henry Louis Gehrig, William Malcolm Dickey. But now, it's Dodger Blue all the way. I love the Dodgers.
So you gotta love that guy. He just made a pitching change, and Sutton's gonna walk off. I'm sure these Yankee fans will give him a nice ovation. But for the young pitchers, this has been a great study, I believe, Tom, in what the term battle of hitters mean. Sutton did it all night. Guidry's been doing it. And we've got quite a ball game going. We've got a break in the action and scored 3-1 Yankees. We're going to pause right here and be right back after these messages. Lance Robson, the pitcher for the Dodgers, in relief of Don Sutton. 78, 43 games, 2-1. His record. Jackson hits the first pitch off the end of the back base hit. Here comes Roy White. He'll score. Heading for third, Munson.
Did a pretty good bit of base running as we see the score 4-1 Yankees, runners on first and third, because he went to third on Dusty Baker. He had to play in front of him, scoring that sacrifice fly. He's an excellent base runner, Thurman. He showed that scoring all the way from first on a hit from Jackson in that second game. So Thurman Munson's at third, Jackson's at first, one man out.
2 runs are in. Yankees lead 4-1. Bottom of the 7th. Lou Piniella, the batter. He's 1 for 3. Bouncing ball. Russell will have to go to first. They get Piniella, but Munson scores. 5-1.
Chopper, no chance for the double play. Reggie Jackson was really barreling into Davy Lopes, a hard slide. Nice scoop by Guidry. You want to see what Reggie was doing on this play? Watch Davy Lopes and how Reggie goes after him. He's going all the way in case the throw was to second base. Get out of the way, Dave. Davy's had a rough time down there. Overslid the bag.
John Kibler has held that play here. Somebody from the upper deck has now thrown 2 beer bottles down there and broken them on the field. Very dangerous situation. The last one, the glass splintered all over, and that's what the bat boys and a couple of ground crew do, picking it up. People don't know, sometimes they celebrate, get carried away, and very seriously injure a player.
Bob Lemon, Tom Lasorda. Right now, 5-1 Yankees, and here's Nettles. Crowd gave him a tremendous ovation, as you heard. Done some job with that glove tonight. There's the strike. Game 3 of the World Series. Tomorrow night, Tommy John against Ed Figueroa, and we'll be right here. Ball, 1 strike. 2 outs. There's Jackson at second. Well hit. Way back north, near the warning track. Nettles hit that ball hard, but there is really Death Valley. But it's a good inning for the Yankees as they score 3, 5-1 at the end of 7. New York out in front of Los Angeles.
We'll return in a moment to the Diamond Collection on Classic Sports Network.
Is this how you start your day? It's okay. Need a little pick-me-up? Aw. Look, perfect nutrition is for perfect people. Then we don't know any. That's why there's Boost, the delicious shake that's got 25 vitamins and minerals with carbohydrates and protein instead of caffeine for real energy that lasts. So if your day isn't 100% nutritious, maybe it's time for a Boost. Boost, the perfect snack for imperfect people.
Take strokes off your game, guaranteed.
Jack Nicklaus's personal technique that helps straighten slices.
Take strokes off your game, guaranteed.
Dave Peltz's revolutionary technique that has even the pros putting more accurately.
Take strokes off your game, guaranteed.
Get out of sand without sweat. Greg Norman's Earth Mover secret shows you how, guaranteed. Now take 2, 3, 4, even more strokes off your game with the secrets you'll get in your free issue of Golf Magazine.
Take strokes off your game, guaranteed.
Master teacher Jim McLean's simple secret to longer, straighter tee shots every time. Call now to get your free issue of Golf Magazine, plus receive your free Golf Magazine umbrella. Shoot lower, play better, or you don't pay. That's the Golf Magazine guarantee. Call now for your free no-obligation issue of Golf Magazine. If you decide to subscribe, get 11 more issues, 12 in all, for just $16.97. Plus this Golf Magazine umbrella free with your paid subscription. Call now.
And there it goes! Willie Mays has done it!
Classic Sports Network, where the legends play.
Thanks for sticking with us on Classic Sports. You know, there are a lot of people today who think for baseball to be exciting and appealing to the masses, there has to be a lot of runs and hits and guys running all over the place. Well, they should be watching this tape that we are on Classic Sports, the 1978 World Series in Game 3, which for the most part was a one-run battle. 2-1, the Yankees held the lead until the bottom of the 7th when they struck for 3. In the bottom of the 8th, Tommy Lasorda brought in knucklebowler Charlie Huff just to keep the Dodgers in the ball game. The strategy worked as Huff retired the Yankees in order to set up Los Angeles' last chance in the top of the ninth, with the Yankees leading 5-1. Back to the Bronx we go.
Joe Garagiola here with Tony Kubek, Tom Seaver, and Kurt Gowdy. Yankee Stadium, Game 3, 5 runs, 10 hits, and 1 error for New York. 1 run, 8 hits, and no errors for the Dodgers. Ron Guidry against Joe Ferguson. Ron Guidry has battled hard. Plenty of help from Nettles. He's got 5 runs. High, ball 1. That 1 run was a walk given up to North. That was in the 3rd inning. Roy White got the Yankees started with a home run. That's the only home run in the game. Foul ball out of play.
Ron Guidry, 5'11", 161 pounds is all. Not throwing here tonight the way he has normally, but watch his arm speed. He gets tremendous leverage, pitches off a stiff front leg, but his arm goes all the way through. That arm speed is what generates that velocity.
Read something the other day. In fact, I talked to one of the guys, a kinesiologist from the University of Michigan. They measured the arm speed with some electronic devices, and they had it just short of the speed of sound. What's that, 600?
That's unbelievable.
Yeah, it really is. Sort of wear and tear on an elbow or a shoulder.
That's all great, but old Dizzy Dean used to say you gotta fog that ball, partner.
That's what he's doing.
That's what Guidry is doing is right.
Yes, sir. Goodbye. He's a gutty little guy, boy. He's got a little help from his friends, and he's up 5-1.
It's his 3rd strikeout, and his crowd reacts. From the 1977 All-Star game, he has a 38-5 record. That's an .884 percentage in his last 52 starts, finishing the 77 season with a 10-2 record, 2 wins in postseason, 25-3 this season, the win against the Royals. Oh, brother. He's liable to get a raise. Here's Lopes. Nettles, they ought to try somebody else. He's proved it tonight. Right now, let's pause briefly for station identification. It's the NBC television network. I had to laugh, Tom, because it looked like Guidry went over and said, I'm going to give you half this victory.
Graig probably did tell him, he said, you better let him try somebody else. They can't get it by me.
Listen to the crowd. Ball 1. The end is near, the sign says. Ball 2. Ron Guidry. Yankees lead 5-1. 1 out away. Ball 3. Bob Lemon, Hall of Famer. There's the strike. Russell, 2 for 4. Strike 2. Look at the crowd. Listen to the crowd. That's the 7th based on balls given up by Ron Guidry, and that is really news. Man bites dog kind of news. He just doesn't do it. Reggie Smith. Right. 56,447, and then I'll be back tomorrow to watch Tommy John against Ed Figueroa. High. 1 ball, 1 strike. We'll be on the air at 3 o'clock Eastern time. We'll be looking for you. Out of play. Watch that noise level come up.
If he can finish with a strikeout, the place here, they'll go crazy. They love it. They absolutely love it. They're on their feet now. That must be half and half for Guidry and half for Nettles.
Tell you what we ought to do, guys, is just let that crowd build up, and they'll tell us what he does. So the strikeout to Reggie Smith ends it, and Ron Guidry on the ropes most of the night gets a complete game victory as the Yankees defeat the Dodgers by the score of 5-1. And here's a word from Jay Johnstone.
Come on, sports fans. You didn't really think that the Dodgers were going to sweep the Yankees. No way.